Yeah. Michelle Ann, why are you not here? Hello. I sent this Saturday at 5:50. She's gonna be like, Thomas, I'm sorry, I missed it again. Can I have another code? Kind of annoying. How you doing, Amy? Okay. Hello, everyone. So, okay. That's my point here is that your guides know how you operate. Now, the key becomes, are you going to fold or are you just going to do it anyways? I can tell you both of all of you today that me and Michelle did not want to go live today. Neither one of us wanted to,
Mm.
but we did
Both
it
look
anyway.
drained. You
Do
both look
what?
drained. You both
But
look
we did
drained.
it. We did it anyways. But you just fucking got to do it. That's what I told her yesterday. I said, listen, I know it sucks, but we got to fucking do it. That's just what it is. What it is. Um, there's something going on energetically right now. Do what? Yeah. Well, I mean, I am too. I made a lot of money, but I'm not saying that's the reason I did it. But it's part of what I have to do my job. Um, and people need my help, and my guides remind me of that shit all the time. But it can be quite fucking draining. Sometimes, especially today. I don't know what's going on. Something's going on right now. Um, from a planetary perspective, something's going on. I'm not an astrologist, so I have no fucking idea. Anyways, maybe I should learn astrology. So, this is my first question to you. You have to cultivate your own personal experience of what you consider God. This is the number one thing I can ever teach you. My guides are saying. Whatever that means to you, God, a tree, a rock, Allah, Jesus, Ganesh, a chair, your TV, whatever you worship. So my question to all of you is, what is your God or goddess or whatever the fuck you want to call it today? That's my question. Anybody want to answer it? I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that. What you're talking about, second. But Amy, what is your God?
To me, God isn't a person. To me, God is everything. It's like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
everything all in one. Like everything's connected.
Okay.
Like what you said on that video the other day. It's
Yeah.
exactly how I always saw it. You said it, you worded it perfectly, or that guy worded it perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if that's exactly how he said it was a little different than how he was told, but when I asked him about it later, but I've heard him tell that story a bunch of fucking times. Anyway, he's told it in front of like hundreds of people. Um, Jennifer, what's your gut? What does that mean?
My God is based on pretty much Christianity, and through experience, my personal experiences as a child and growing
Okay.
up. Um, I felt the hand of God in my life for all my life. So
Which is fun.
yeah.
What about you, Miss Diane? Diane's hating God right now, right, Diane? Okay. I don't even think God cares you turn your back, honestly. Well, I think God don't give a shit. I think God gives a shit and don't give a shit at the same time. I'll get into that in a minute. Um, Steph, what about you? She's in the forest. If you can unmute yourself, I don't know if
Okay,
you can.
got it. Sorry, I'm using my phone. Um, I always envision God as something more mysterious than the church down the street preaches that God is. I think of God like from a physics perspective, like a source of energy, very powerful, mystical, creator of everything, divine, universe. That's kind of where I'm coming
There's no wrong answer to any of it. Miss Hawkeye.
Um, I, in my stance right now, where God is concerned, I believe we come from one source and we call him by very different names, and we find God with around us and within us, mostly.
And what? Oh, you sure
Sorry?
yours is in a Korean pop band?
Hmm. Close, close, as just as close.
There was a time I thought Morrissey was like divinely inspired. Anyways, I was a much younger kid. Wedge, what about you?
I believe he is a creator God. He created whatever we have going on here, and everything revolves about whatever religion, whatever, you know, natural, whatever scientifical thing, all revolves around this creator God.
So we'll get into what Diane was talking about. This is a hard pill for, I think, for a lot of people to swallow. God created the angel and the demon, or create a being that made the angel and the demon. I don't know. A lot of people believe Sophia made the archons. Archons are negative, like beings. I've dealt with quite a few. But what I'm getting at is
Talking that Sophia and her codes.
No, that's not Sophia. I think it's from the Gnostic text, like the demiurge shit. But I don't believe in the demiurge. But some people do. And hey, man, if you believe in it, you believe in it. I don't give a shit. I don't. But I think it's in that Gnostic. I could be wrong though. I've read so many books. But everything's connected. So they're reminding me of Steve Jobs when he died. Like he saw something and he was like, oh, Jesus Christ, when he died. Because I don't think he believed in God. But God is everything. And I'll tell the story of Carlos real fast before we get into everything else. Just the first part of the question. So, my friend Carlos, this is an hour-long story that I'll tell in 3 minutes. My friend Carlos is in the middle of the fucking ocean. He gets pulled into the riptide. There's a 20-minute fucking thing that leads up to this, but I'm not going there. So he goes swimming in the wrong place. He gets pulled into the riptide. And he's pulled out there. People trying to save his ass. They can't do it because he's in the fucking middle of the fucking ocean now. And he's like, I'm gonna die, God. So you know what? Thank you for everything. I had a good life. And he heard in his head, ask for help. And so he's like, I don't know who the fuck's gonna help me. And he goes underneath the water. So then he second time he comes up, he hears the same thing, ask for help. And he's like, I don't know who the fuck's gonna help me. I'm ready to die. So he goes underneath the water. The third time he hears ask for help, he comes up again. And so he goes, okay, God, help me. A fucking dolphin comes up underneath his ass. And he's going through the ocean on a dolphin. Now, here I gotta be careful. There's some really loud people. Let me close that door. So basically, that night he goes to sleep. Now you can listen. I've said this before. You can look up Carlos Vivas, Vivas, NDE, and you can listen to the whole story on YouTube. He's got millions of views. Anyways, he's a big Venezuelan guy. So, anyways, that night he goes to sleep and he goes to heaven. Now, when he was a kid, he almost died of bone cancer or leukemia or something like that. And he asked God to help him, and he was cured. He was given a book, The Psychotronic Power. And you can find this book now. Wedge, you might actually like this book. And you couldn't find it like 5 years ago, but now you can. It was like to buy an original copy, it was like $200-300. So, anyways, he goes and he talks to Jesus, and Jesus goes, "When you were a kid, you asked me to heal you, and you said you would help me like spread my message. And there were angels everywhere, and he didn't want to leave." And so he goes, "Okay, Jesus, I have a question. Are you the only way to God?" And Jesus is like, "No, there's a million ways to God." So that's the key to all of it. Whatever you think God is. I'm sure there's some evil versions, but I think everything's God. Like Edgar Casey talks, some people obviously don't, a lot of people don't like Jesus, I understand. But even Edgar Casey talks about the Christ soul. The Christ soul has directly or indirectly influenced every religion that has taught oneness with God, starting with the law of one in Atlantis and ending with a cross. The next incarnation of the Christ soul will be to bring in the kingdom of David. But I would imagine, but he outlined every incarnation. Zolitarianism, everything. That's just the Christ soul. Even the alien people, the Ashtar people, talk about versions of the Christ soul. And Merlin and all these other beings. Like they played this role on Earth, they played on other planets. You have a question, Miss Diane? No, you're fine. You just swipe over. So, anyways, point is, develop your personal connection. Now, when I was 15, I went to a youth camp. I prayed the day before the last day that God had to show himself to me or I would never believe God existed. What I saw was the energy of God. I never understood what faith was until my 40s because I just knew. Now, it doesn't mean it has to be Christian. But the point is, everyone's different. I asked, though. That's what they're saying. I asked. That's what a lot of people don't do. So, like Diane, for instance, when I was listening to you on the reading, I'm always listening and picking up things. So, listen to how people talk. But when I was listening in the reading, like, I could hear the negativity. So you have to be real careful how you talk to yourself because your body is a conducive element. What you tell yourself manifests. Not always, but if you tell yourself enough something. I've used this analogy with these hotels. I see people that are junkies here. I don't see them a lot, but I know a junkie when I see one. So it's an active junkie. And they'll be outside, but they put themselves in that situation. And then I see other people that get stuck in these hotels for years. But at some point, there was something that led them into this situation. Something. And they could have gotten out of it with a little wiggle room, a couple little things. I hear people like, they'll say they're broke. But they're sitting on, no offense to anyone, I'm sorry saying this out loud, but they're sitting on TikTok for 8 hours a day. And I'm like, well, there's a reason why you could spend those 8 hours doing something else. I watch a girl make like $800 a day doing side hustles in America, like $1,000 a day on TikTok. And she tells you how to do it. So, it's there if you want it. Anyway. But that's my point. To everyone, I see it with everyone. I see people excuses, not excuses, whatever. But you're programming yourself. That's the whole point of manifestation. Whether it's the power of the subconscious mind, whatever book it is. You can read all the books in the world, but if you don't apply it, it'll never work. Right, Chris? It's like a sleeping. Okay. So, okay. So, this is the next question. You have to connect with yourself. So this is part of your homework. What are you doing to connect to you as a person? I said this earlier in the live. We're so focused on we're so focused on astral projection. I had a friend yesterday. I went to my old friend's house. I lived there 20 years ago. And this guy, I hadn't seen him in 20 years, and he's hasn't had anyone to talk to about spiritual shit. And he's talking to me this morning at like 7, 8 a.m. in the morning. And I'm like, I go, bro, that's all good, but you're a fucking, I'm thinking this, I apologize, I didn't say this to him. I was like, you're mad at your life that you're 43 years old and you're a line cook at Taco Mat. Like you can do all the Monroe Gateway experiences you want to, but I don't think it's going to help you. Like your mind is the key here. Your life is the key. You're upset that you live in a house with fucking 8 people. I get it. I couldn't live here. But it's like you could change this. But all this, because he's talking about doing the gateway tapes. I do not recommend anyone do this. I've heard horror stories. But the point is that Robert Monroe has a connection with the government. I can say that. The Monroe Institute is actually like 20 minutes away from me in Georgia. Maybe 30. But what I'm getting at is I was like, bro, you could do all that, but it doesn't fix what your problem is right now. None of that astral projection shit's maybe it might help you. Maybe you'll make a book. I mean, yeah, it could help you, but at the end of the day, you need to focus on you. You are the pillar of God. Sorry, I just said that out loud. So you are the pillar of God, meaning you are also the connection to God. So if you look at Journey of Souls, Destiny of Souls, these other books, I believe this to be it's subjective, but it's truth at the same time. When you pass away, you go before a council. You have a life review. People agree to weird shit in their life reviews, but when they choose their lifetime, at least. Let me backtrack on that. And then you go back and they clear you and you go back into oneness and you go do other shit. And then you come back and reincarnate. Time over there is different. 1,000,000 years could be 3 seconds. We don't know. So it's like a girl, many lives, many masters. Her purpose was that she was supposed to die in the Holocaust. And she was supposed to forgive the people who killed her. She was 9 years old. That was her purpose in life. Crazy. I didn't write the book. But the point is, that's what the woman in Past Life Regression saw. Because I used to be her. But also, like Diane, what you're going through and what other people have gone through with pain, you have the ability to heal those things. You have to talk, as I was taught in Mayan shamanism, your body is conscious. It hears what you say to it. It's like a computer. Look at everyone who's addicted to social media. If you had told everyone that's addicted to social media, because it's a lot of people, obviously, and If you told them 10 years ago they'd be addicted, they would laugh. But something led them down that path. And there's plenty of people addicted to all kinds of things. You know, what I'm getting at is something in there got them addicted, dopamine, whatever. You can do that with your own body. You can talk to your own cells. You can tell your body what it is you need it to do. If it needs to heal your body, you have to talk to it. The main thing is noise. So, sorry, I have cough drops, but the main problem you're having is noise. What do I mean by noise? It's everything that's distracting you. When I look at the book, what is that? The Unthreaded Soul or some shit like that. All the guy wanted to do was sit in a fucking van and meditate. And he did it long enough to the point where he became people came to visit him for him to build a whole like ashram to teach them how to meditate. And then he became a billionaire. But it all started with him meditating in a bus in the middle of the woods for like a year or two. So that's considered like one of the best spiritual books of all time. It's like the Unthreaded Soul or something like that. I don't know. Someone may know the name of that book. Untethered Soul, I think.
Untethered Soul. I have it right here.
Yeah, I've read it. I read it like 5, 6 years ago. But anyways, but that's my point is that he slipped himself into a state. When you slip yourself into states of consciousness that are like beta, theta, alpha, gamma, you slip yourself into creating reality. Because now you're on a wavelength, and I believe all of humanity, that I think this is whoever's, I have to be careful because Diane's recording, but humanity, like some people that try to run humanity or influence humanity's greatest fear is that people will wake up, or they'll be able to manifest the shit out of shit, and they'll be able to get us out of whatever we're in. I'm kind of channeling while I'm talking. If enough people came together, they could stop it. They could change everything. And yeah. It's like, but they're still going to do things, whoever they are. I have to be careful what I say. There's a lot of monitoring of social media and other things now. So they're going to use frequencies. They're going to do things. As many people already know, they turned off CERN for 4 years. And within 6 days, we have record temperatures. We got fucking El Niños all over the fucking place. It seems a little suspicious to me.
I have a
Eternal.
storm by me.
Do what?
I have a storm by me right now. I have a tornado watch.
It's going to be the worst El Nino they've had in 200 years. Since 18 something. But what I'm getting at here is also, I'm going to give an example about pain. And Diane, I'm not signaling you out. So when I was 34, when I was 21, I got hit in a mosh pit in the knee on purpose by some asshole. And when I was 34, my knee was acting up really bad. And I was like, okay, God, I need help. Send me the right person to help me. And within about 3 days, maybe less, somebody messaged me that I still talk to randomly. And they were like, my mother went to this guy and you should go see him. That was my first mentor and new age shit. But my knee was pretty much healed within about 3 months. I had to ask to be sent to the right person. I was in so much pain, I didn't give a fuck what he told me to do. I just did it. He said, sit in your bed and imagine go look at a graph of your knee, see it in perfect alignment. And I'm basically putting myself in trance for like 8 hours. And when I wake up, my knee doesn't hurt anymore. But that's what you can do. You can call that the power of belief. You can call that putting your body in trance. So your body now has a new operating system, like a computer, or it has a new set of commands.
Milton Erickson did something similar. He
Okay.
healed his body from polio in the 1920s, and he used his mind, put himself in trances, and he just envisioned his body healing, and he healed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think anyone could heal themselves. I think anyone could have anything they want, if I'm being completely honest. Money, whatever it is you want. Some people's, this is where I say it's a tricky thing to say we are God and we aren't God. I don't really know the answer to this. But even the Anunnaki, when they got here, I kind of think it's both. But they knew there was a creative force in the universe. They weren't supposed to be here, but it was the only way they could save their species was by taking our gold and mining shit to save their planet. Anyways, but what I'm getting at here, I'm jumping around, is that for pain and other things, everyone's got a different idea about what they want from life. It could be a family, it could be a boyfriend, it could be a girlfriend, it could be a lot of money, it could be the guy from BTS and Oreo cookies. I mean, that may be what they want out of life. I don't know. But the only person stopping you, because they're talking as I'm talking, so, is you. But you can't beat yourself up about that. You just have to start. Because today, everyone's worried about the future. They aren't worried about the right now. What can you do right now? I was sick as shit for 2 weeks. I didn't know if that shit was going to go away. I couldn't figure out what the hell was wrong with me. I'm better now, but point was is I asked for help. I mean, it probably would have went away. I don't know. I don't know if I need an antibiotic. I don't know. Any questions? We're jumping all over the place, but any questions? Anybody? I love questions. Hawkeye, you're muted.
Okay, you can tell us where we can find the waves to slip into those states, like the theta,
Yeah.
beta, alpha. And
You want to
more.
find any kind of binaural beat. You need headphones. I think mine are in my car, but headphones, earbuds, whatever. Binaural beats. You can get pure tones. I've seen people use rife frequencies. A lot of people know what rife is.
Mhm.
Some people don't, but they do work. I'm not an expert on them. But
Can you spell that?
RIFE. You'll find a lot of information on rife frequencies. But you're trying to get into different states of consciousness. Alpha, beta, theta, delta. I don't know if that's how they go in direct order. I can look it up though. Let me see if I can look it up. This is where people like monks. One of my best friends is an Orthodoxy Christian. They don't like the Vatican too much, I can tell you that. But he's very old. Me and him have discussions about psychic shit every couple of years. Hold on. Frequencies. But my point is, yeah, there it is that they do this. The thing in his life, all he wants to do is become a monk, but he's got like 7 children. I've known him since I've been like 21, or 22 or something like that. But the point is, that's all he's ever wanted out of life. And but once his kids grow old, that's probably what he'll do. He'll divorce his wife and he'll go live in a monastery. But they get themselves into these states, whether they're Christian, Buddhist, whatever. So you have like alpha, that's one frequency, associated with relaxed, calm, and passive awareness, typically occurring with daydreaming or meditating or driving. Like you don't know where you got somewhere because you forgot, you slipped into alpha. Beta, linked to alert, waking consciousness, active concentration, and logical thinking. That's beta. Then you have gamma, the fastest brain waves associated with hyperfocus, peak performance, complex processing. And then there's more. So you have gamma, beta, alpha, theta, delta.
Mm-hmm.
The key is getting into those states. That's what Casey did. He couldn't talk. So he found a hypnotist. And eventually, when he was hypnotized, I believe he cured himself. Like they could see the blood go into his throat and like cure him.
How technical do you have to be when you tell yourself like to heal? Do you have to like tell your cells what to do, or can you just intend
I think
fine?
I think it's just doing it over and over again. I think if you tell yourself anything enough, you'll believe it.
Okay.
Like, I don't know why they keep showing me like poor people. Anyways, but like really poor people, like been driving around see when I'm in other states. But basically, they don't, yeah, I guess that's why they don't know any different. So when I was in like Kansas, maybe I was in Kentucky, I can't remember. But I was in somewhere and I was like, this is the worst people. I'd never seen anyone like this in my life. But I was like, these people literally, they don't know any different. I did a video a year ago. Wedge probably saw it. But I was in front of some crazy ass hotel. And I said I bought the hotel. And there was another one that I did it in front of too. But I was like, who in their right mind would live here? Like this is crazy. But they don't know any different. Like when I went into the Dollar Tree, people were looking at me like I was an alien. Because I didn't look like I belonged there at all. But this, I think it was Kentucky. But that's just my point is that they don't know any different. If you don't know any different, you have to invent your reality, is what I'm hearing. You have to ask yourself, like, if you just go around and go, my life sucks, why don't you start asking yourself how good your life could be? Like, could I find a guy? Could I find what I really want? Like, some people want a boyfriend. I know you women love boyfriends. And some guys want a girlfriend. I don't know why, but whatever. I've seen the movie Obsession. I'm kind of afraid. So basically, that just reminded me of all my crazy exes. But the point is that some people want that. And if you really want that, that's what you're aiming for. Family, kids, all that stuff. That's what you're aiming for. That's some people's dream. You know, that's what they've been told their whole life, what they're aiming for. And if there's one thing people do not like, it's being thrown off of whatever's normal to them. It's like arguing with people is pointless. I see this girl on TikTok. I called her because I'd be up at like 7 a.m. at this other hotel last week when I was sick. And she would be like, she sits there all day long arguing if God exists, the Christian God. I just haven't got around to arguing with her yet. But the point is I'm like, why would you just sit there and waste all your time doing that? It seems kind of dumb. and not get paid for it. Anyways, I digress. But whatever it is you want from life, that's what you do. You tell yourself that over and over again. Some people use subconscious stuff. They'll use subconscious redirection techniques, like someone else has recorded everything. Will it work? Yes, I've used it. But I think it's better if you do it yourself and record it yourself. That's a whole nother topic, how to make a subconscious thing. But you can tell yourself the same things over and over again. And then it changes. Tony Robbins told two people they could make $1 million. They could be a millionaire. A couple. He told a whole group they could have whatever they wanted. They said, I want to win the lottery. And he's like, shit, I told them they could have whatever they wanted. I don't know how the fuck they're going to do that, but we'll see what happens. And they did it. They won it twice. They figured out a way to do it. The key is looking for whatever that thing is. Asking for, that's it, sorry, correction, asking. Commanding, whatever it is you want to call it. God, you're laughing. You can have all the discussions you want with high level beings, but it's almost like working with ChatGPT. ChatGPT can tell you everything you fucking need to know about shit, but if you don't do what it tells you to do, then it's pointless. Not pointless. It's kind of derivative. Like I can go talk to all kinds of beings and they can tell me what to do, but if I don't do what they told me to do, it's like whatever. Anyways. Questions, anybody, before I move on?
When you say ask, are we asking God? Are we asking spirit guides? Are we asking who?
Whatever you want to ask. I mean, you could just say, my body is okay. For me, I'm very Christian in a lot of ways, and I'm not in other ways. I don't know how to explain this, but the point is that I had a past lifetime in the Bible. I've had a few. For me, saying for me, I'd be like, God, this is what I need. Or I would just say, this is what I need. I give examples. The knee example was one. Another one was I got a ticket and let's turn off that mister. Hold on, it's getting pretty heavy. But I don't want it to burn. So I got a ticket and I would have lost my pest control job if the ticket had went through. So I was like, God, can you please show me? I don't know if I said God or what at the time. I was like 30. But can you please show me what I need or put in my path, whatever, how to fix the situation so I don't get in trouble and lose my job. And lo and behold, popped in my mind. I had a client in termite, and he was one of the top. He mentioned he was one of the top lawyers in East Coast. And I was like, I had to put up with this fucker for 7 years. And he liked me. And he was a hard asshole to put up with. And I called him. And I was like, hey, Mr. Klein. He's like, oh, yeah, easy as pie, man. $400. You know, I'll hook you up, man. But that's my point. There's always, it's like Tesla or Einstein would say, there's an answer to everything. It's just a simple matter of like picking it out of the ether. Like anyone can grab that answer to anything. Every invention's already up there. But I would say even with what you have, like with that, sorry, I need to channel a little bit, but even with that, ask. It says it in the Bible. Like the one thing it says in every religious book more than anything is don't be afraid. It's not just the Bible, it's every fucking religious book that exists. Because fear is a lower vibration. The whole world's afraid right now. I find it interesting. Why is the whole world afraid? because there's wars going on. If I looked at what's happening in Africa, that's been going on for fucking 40, 50 years. No one's been talking about that. They're cutting people's heads off on the side of the road. That's been going on for a long time, but no one's talking. There's a huge crack going across Africa. It's been going on for like 4 years because it doesn't affect us here. Just like we're not in Europe where a bunch of people are dying because they don't have AC. Because only 20% of their country has AC. So this one went like a year ago. Wedge knows what I'm talking about if he's still awake. But it looks like that's a no. But basically, he does it every time. So where's I going with that? Sorry. Wedge threw me off. He is out. What was I saying? I'm sorry. Yeah, well, yeah, only 20% basically. But they survive just fine. They're used to that. My friend's from Germany. He doesn't reuse his AC when he's in his house, like ever. But that's just how he's from Germany. That's how they are. Anyways, but digital ID a year ago. When I was in Missouri, I was like, oh, they're arresting people for making comments on Facebook. Wait till it comes here. It's only a matter of time. Soft launch at other places and then hard launch it here eventually. China has that. They've had that for years. Some kind of thing where they monitor everything. So, but what I'm getting at with yourself, I digress, is that you either feed a negative or a positive vibration. And it's up to you what you want. Everyone's getting tired now. Okay. Yeah, look at this. Is so funny. I'll take a picture of it. Give me a second. Okay. So did it work? Yeah, there we go. So you have to ask yourself like what it is you want. That's like right now, Hawkeye wants to vape. Do what? No. Yeah, but he does it. So, but you see, Hawkeye, if no one had ever given you a vape, would you have ever wanted it? That's my point. Someone told you that was what you wanted. Like someone
Someone
told people
carried me and made me buy it.
do what?
Someone carried me and made me buy it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying is like somebody gave someone a bunch of energy drinks too one day. I used to buy them for 99 cents when I was 28.
Wow.
They weren't monsters. No one knew what the fuck monsters were.
Mm.
But the point was, is then all of a sudden I drink like one every like 2 days. If someone told, I was like, oh, I'm half asleep. I need to drink something to wake me up. So I might as well drink this. But you get where I'm going here. You can program yourself the same way. Your body has a consciousness. Plants have a consciousness. Rocks have a consciousness. They've done this with plants. Two plants in the same room. Someone comes in, destroys one of the plants, the other plant, and then leaves. The guy comes back in the next day, the other plant starts reacting with electrodes. So the plant fucking knows what's going on. The consciousness, your cell has a consciousness too. And as my guides are saying, when humans figure out how to turn that on and off, at will, you could heal your whole body. It's like surgeries and stuff. I mean, half the time they work, half the time they don't. even with my knee, my mother, she's been a nurse for like 40 years. She was. She was like, Thomas, don't have them cut your knee open, whatever you do, because you may never walk the same again. But my mother ain't gonna say that to anybody else because she's a fucking nurse. Well, that's my point. Sometimes you have to have a surgery. But what I'm getting at is that your body can heal it too. People go to my friend Cameron, who's a body mechanic, and he has they have a shoulder injury. They can't walk straight. He can usually fix them in about 3 months with lasers and manipulation of the body. He'd do it without lasers before, but now he can do it faster with lasers. These lasers he uses. But he knows how to get it back to where it needs to be. Like they have rotator cuff damage, he can fix that. Or they need rotator cuff surgery. But the thing is, you can do the same thing because he put out a signal, my guides are saying, to learn that. Because he had to fix himself. But sometimes we agree to this weird shit of like something happens to us, so we learn something to help other people. Like me talking about, I don't talk about this often, but I almost got possessed or something. I never really know what level that was when I was like 36. But if I hadn't have done that, I don't think I would do this entity removal shit. I started healing and then other people started coming to me and some of them had entity shit. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this, but I might as well just try. Let's see what happens. So that was after, it was like 3 years later, or 3 years later. But it's like, fuck it. If I run into a problem, I'll ask my teacher or one of my mentors at the time what I need to do. But that's my point is I think I had to go through that in order to understand it. Like Cameron's body's fucked up from Lyme disease. But he had to fix his own body. So he could fix everyone else. I'm not saying that happens to everyone, but the point is you can do it yourself or you can have someone else do it. It's a hard thing because I know Diane's got a lot of things going on and her son does too. But at the same time, what can you do? Because even in the power of your subconscious mind, that I've said this in a live. The guy's father's dying of terminal cancer, and he goes to Joseph Murphy and says, my father's dying of terminal cancer. What do I do? And he goes, you're going to go to the railroad and you're going to find the oldest piece of wood and you're going to tell your father it's from the true cross of Jesus. His father believed him. He was cured in 3 months. So and there's all these stories sprinkled in that book.
That's like a placebo effect.
Or maybe it's just gave his body the right instructions to cure itself.
Yeah.
There is the key. Who knows? I don't, if it works, it works. That's all I care about. Whether it's energy work, whether it's subconscious, I think there's a million ways to skin a cat. That's what I say. There's a million ways to fix any issue. You okay over there, Hawkeye? Why are you laughing? Okay, you're breathing. We have any questions, anybody? Wedge got about 10 minutes of sleep there. I know we saw you. I took a picture. Anyway. Moving on.
He did take a picture.
He did.
Me too.
It's okay. I just wanted a memory. The power of letting go. So who would you be if you weren't defined by the things that happened to you? What would you do differently?
Hmm.
I want you to think about that. Like when you get off this, like I want you to write, who would you be if you were not defined by the things that hurt you? How would you operate differently? Well, let's say that there's certain things you didn't need to experience. And if you let them go, you could be different. That's what I'm saying. Um,
I think
what would you do
I
if you
would
didn't
be,
have any fear? What I'm getting at is what would you do if you didn't have any fear?
yeah. I think I
That's
would have been more open with my emotions.
yeah. And maybe
Mhm.
you would start a business. Maybe you would try something else if you didn't have fear. Who knows what that I mean, you could still do that. You could have a guy attach you to him and he could do it for you. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure they have that. Um, there's a lot of people who are doctors. I think a lot more people than people think. Anyways, um, who's messaging me? Oh, okay. Of course it's her. That's one of the weirdest clients I ever had. I'm not going to say her name. Anyways, did you do what? Come back, Wedge. He's just chilling. He's waiting on me to do energy work on here. Um, okay. So Wedge, you drain your foot today?
I had my foot up in the air. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Um, one way to get the answer to your question, whatever question is you have, is the one thing you're going to hate me saying. You turn off all your lights and every electronic device you have, and you sit in the dark and ask yourself the question. Don't lay down though. You're going to go to sleep. Just sit there, ask yourself the question. What is it I need to know? How do I fix the problem? You may not like the answer, but you'll get the answer. Another form of meditation, which helps a lot of people, is pick a spot. This is more intense shit. This is like Eastern shit or Western, Eastern. Find a space on the wall, stare at it, and see like what happens. Like find a space on the wall, stare at it for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You'll start having vision. Like just put a dot on the wall or just like one tiny speck and stare at it. I mentioned my friend Christian before, even though we're not talking right now. But the point is that he went on a silent retreat. They had to just scan their body 12 hours a day, maybe 16 hours a day, nonstop for 16 hours. He said when he was done with that, and they do this for free in every country. I forget the name of it, but you could donate to them when you go. But they feed you and you basically scan your body. He said after that, like 7 days, he was the most connected to himself he'd ever been in his life. And they would just have him scan his body over and over and over and it's a little tricky to explain because I know how to do it, but I haven't done it in a while. But basically, you're just scanning. It's like imagine there's an energy thing, and you're just scanning every little piece of your body very slowly. You're having the energy go through everything. and seeing if like if anything doesn't feel right. Like he had a cyst, he was in India at the time. He had a cyst in his gums. And they don't obviously have the best healthcare in India. So he was concerned about that. And he said eventually the energy after like a day or two kept hitting that cyst. And it's boom, 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 boom. And then it just popped the whole thing in his mouth. But this is the more extreme methods of doing things. As I said, everyone wants to learn how to astral project. Everyone wants to learn how to do these amazing things, but no one wants to learn how to sit with themselves. No one wants to learn how to tackle their own emotions. No one wants to learn why they want to like attack other people sometimes. I didn't want to say that out loud. But that's my point. That's my point. So you have to ask yourself why you want to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Whatever that means to you. And you don't, this is interesting. You don't know what you're capable of until you do it. So when I worked pest control, I sat in the heat for like 10 hours a day for years. If it was like this hot, I'd be working for like 10 hours. But I didn't think I was capable of doing that until I had to do it. It's like if you were homeless, what would you do to get food? Would you go through a dumpster if you were starving? Of course. Anyways, but you're looking, these things will help you find yourself, is where I'm going. You don't have to sit in the heat, but sitting in quietness, sitting in whatever that is. Focusing on any object. Like the crystal ball thing, Amy, that Michelle told you. That is one form of divination. The same basic practice. It's a little more fancy, but you making it where you just stare into something. Black mirror. The people stare into black mirrors to see future events. One of the fantasy books I'm reading, it's somewhere in here, but it's about that kind of shit. So like they're reading prophecies that are like 3,000 years old, trying to figure out, because someone wrote prophecies that were going to happen in the future. So they're trying to like figure out what the fuck's going on. Anyways, but any questions? Any questions? Hawkeye has a question.
I want to astral project.
It's not as hard as you think this is.
I want to do it right now.
Okay, well, you and Hawkeye can go do it. I think it's as simple as just like Johnny was talking about the gateway. I'm telling you, I think I don't get a good feeling about the gateway experience. But these people, like his whole kitchen is doing it. And he's like, we're on the third tape. Now, if you look up the gateway experience on TikTok, you're going to hear some horror stories. But he's like, oh man, it's amazing and blah. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, you be careful. But you can go anywhere if you learn how to do it. And there's somebody who can teach you how to astral project on YouTube, probably for free. And you could go talk to other versions of yourself, Wedge, my guides are saying.
Oh, I know.
Do what?
Yeah, no, I know this well.
Yeah. And then you could talk any problem you have, they probably already, there's a version of you that's fixed it.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah. Or has accomplished it, whatever it is.
Hmm.
Um, Thinking they don't want me to, no, they don't want me to bring up that story. Okay. So, anyways, but there's a version of you everywhere that's doing different things, like all over the whatever multiverse or whatever. Um, I said this to Rossi a long time ago, my former
Isn't
chief.
that called fractals or something like that?
Well, I think people give it fancy names, I'm hearing.
Oh, okay.
I just think it's pretty simple as just doing it. Like if you see yourself talking to another being and say, ask, for you, I guess, and then have a conversation. I was putting QHHT hypnosis and I was battling a version of me that was like 2,000 years older. Or, yeah, older. It had like swords. It was very dark, and it kept trying to kill me. And we went back and forth, like fighting each other. Either it was symbolic or it wasn't. I don't think it was. I think it was a version of me in the past. But
What is QH something?
quantum healing hypnosis
Oh,
technique.
quantum healing.
Dolores Cannon. But you can invoke those states yourself. Like people that do DMT and stuff like that. I'm not recommending that. We are being recorded. Um, but you can do it naturally. I mean, there's plenty of, it's like Tibetan monks. They've been interviewed. They've said, we've developed psychic abilities. We just don't care. Like we learn how to do something. We're like, oh, that's great. Okay, well, I learned how to do that. I'm moving on. Because they just want to reach some enlightenment or whatever they're doing, whatever their purpose is. But that's the Eastern, is my point. That's for them, it's different. Like they don't even have a word for the word psychic in the Eastern, like Hinduism and stuff, Pakistan. Like the Indians, they have no India. They have no word for psychic. They just have like divinely blessed or something. Everyone's got a guru thing. Did we lose somebody? Yeah, we lost somebody. Um, Hold on. Let me come back. Let me
Wasn't there
see.
somebody named Steph?
Yeah, Steph was here. She disappeared. She was outside. Okay, I'm trying to come back. There we go. Okay. It's like even with me, if I don't know if I'd never done healing, I don't know if this is something I chose to do before I got here. Let me go back to that. So a lot of people believe that you choose your lifetime before you get here because you're on the other side, you're not in a human body. You're like, okay, I can do all these things. I can have all these experiences, but you're not quite in a human body, so you don't quite know everything that could happen. If that makes sense. Like you don't know everything that could happen, but you're in that human body, you're in that soul space, and you're like, I can do that. It's not a big deal. I can handle that. Earth is considered one of the hardest schools you'll ever be in because we're denser here than a lot of other places. We have a journey of souls. You can find that. And I think there's probably 100 other versions of you that may have chose something different, or a different version of it, or a partial version of it. That's where quantum leaping comes from. The guy who invented that term, he he found a way. He was taught in a Buddhist monastery how to talk to alternate versions of himself. You're not gonna find that on YouTube though. He's still around. He died, but you're just gonna find a bunch of like TikTokers talking about quantum leaping. But that guy is on there somewhere. But he was put in a vow. He couldn't talk about it for 30 years. He couldn't teach it. He could do it, but he couldn't teach it. Anyways, so the key here is to develop a relationship with what you believe God to be. Have conversations, pray. You don't have to see it as Jesus. You can see it as a stick. It doesn't matter. In the book of Thomas, it says that. You don't need houses of worship to find me. You can find me in a rock. You can find me in a stick. And there's another important quote, because some people believe the book of Thomas is the original gospel. It's just too heretical for most for like Catholics. But basically that the master walks up to Thomas and whispers something in his ear. The other apostles run up to Thomas and say, "What did the master tell you?" He goes, "I would tell you, but you would stone me to death." And then the stones would hit the ground and holy fire would engulf you. Meaning some secrets are not supposed to be known by everyone. Yeah. And I think that's the truth. Like there's a lot there that they're not gonna. You look at someone like Kevin Trudeau, he's got a massive channel. He got arrested for talking about being part of a brotherhood, Illuminati kind of thing. He used to be very big TV like commercial guy, making like millions and millions of dollars, but then he got arrested for something no one's even ever been arrested for. But he went through a secret society as a teenager. And they taught him all these special tricks. And this is where I'm getting at. In the spiritual movement, a lot of people think you have to be a certain way. Those people are a certain way. They just learn how to manifest shit and how to do things. And those books exist. The Rosicrucians have written books, like all kinds of people have written books. I mean, you just got to comb through it to find what you're looking for. It's like if all the content you watch was motivational content, your brain would flip within like a week, my guys. If it was all like, you're gonna make it, you're gonna be the best, that's what you would be. Everyone's getting tired here. So I'm gonna do some energy work. Here we go. We're gonna do some fear removal, because that seems to be everyone right now. A lot of people believe fear is stored in the kidneys. I don't know if I believe that, but some people do. And if you believe that, that's fine. So anyway, let's tap out. And now, Era Fishila Kara Shikala Fara Kishilaka. And clear, light. Clear. And tell me where you guys feel it. Can you guys feel that? Okay. Clear. Light. As I said before, I'm still working. There's so many different ways to do something, subconsciously, energetically, whatever works for you. One person go to a Christian church, one person go to a Buddhist church, one person go there, one person go do this. And clear. And now we're going to do some depression clearing. A lot of you are out of your bodies, I can see that. And now, depression clearing, clear. Okay. Clear. Clear fields. Light and ground, then back in our bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Clear. Light. How do you feel now? Your toe throbbing, Mr. Wedge?
Don't think so.
No, I thought I felt it. Um,
I was getting it like on my thumb and my arm and underneath my chin for some reason.
okay. Okay. Questions. Any questions anybody has? I'm game. Question. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. If you don't ask, they won't do anything. You could be waiting forever. So when I look at like, and I'm not talking shit, you're recording me, so be true. But when I look at like when people talk about like all these ascension things, like does it really matter? Does it solve the problem? Like
No.
everyone can talk about ascension all day long and the world's moving into the fifth dimension, but does it change anything?
How long has the world been going into the fifth dimension?
Since the 60s.
Yeah,
Mhm.
shit.
Yeah. I say we've probably gone into like the eighth. I think some people have been gone to the 27th dimension by now.
Mm-hmm.
If people that naturally can just move through dimensions.
Mm.
So I don't
I think I
understand it.
do that in my sleep.
Yeah, a lot of people do that in their sleep.
Because I don't dream whatsoever.
But maybe you do, just don't remember.
Mhm.
It's all black.
What are you eating, Hawkeye?
Kit Kat.
Okay. Um,
I can smell your breath clear over here.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I've been eating cough drop. They got hot dogs tonight. Trying to decide if I'm going to stay here or not. My phone, it literally glitched like 58 times while I was live today.
Mm.
It's never happened before. But now this is like solid. I don't know what's going on. It could be the outside. Anyways,
You still at your same place that you've been at?
only 3 days.
Oh,
I don't want to leave because it's like 100 degrees outside, and my
oh yeah,
AC
that's
doesn't
right.
work. So I may tell them I want to stay till Friday and then leave and see what they do. I did a week. I did a month. But the problem is you got to move hotel to hotel every week, and that's a real bitch. Try moving all your shit every week. It's not fun. It takes a lot of time.
Mm-mm.
And I have to repack everything up again in the morning. Anyways, just in case they tell me to leave. But I think it's just the signal's weird here. Anyways, but any more questions? Sorry.
Thomas, can you give us some examples how you use your guides or how you ask questions?
Um,
That's a new term for me, so I
I just asked them,
just
and
ask.
they told me things. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I did it. At first, it was just one. Gideon. And then someone told me that was one of my guides' names, some psychic. And so I started talking to him. And then I think he got changed out. I'm not really sure on that. And then I just kept, it's like, I don't, that's one way to explain it. It's hard to explain. I mean, you could do it like Napoleon Hill, where he put them all in a room and had conversations with them. And Think and Grow Rich. He made a room where it was like very popular people, like very high level people, like presidents and shit that had died, and he talked to them. Whatever his decision was he was going to do, he did this every night before he went to sleep. And Think and Grow Rich is considered like one of the best business books ever made. Diane's pondering a bunch of questions at once. I can see it. So I don't know what the guide thing. It's a hard thing to explain. Everyone's got a different system.
Right.
Guides can't make this. I mean, if you ask them to do something, they can do it. But I remember when I was going through something a long time ago, and they asked me, they're like, "Do you want us to take care of this?" And I was like, "No." And then eventually I said yes. And within a day, like everything changed.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to explain it. I don't know if I'm doing a good job at it. Is that everyone's thing is different. The best way to learn is to find someone who teaches it. But I haven't really seen anyone teach a spirit guidebook in my life.
Mm-mm.
I don't think I've seen it. But they can talk to you all day.
Michelle's got a spirit guide class.
Yeah. I mean, but it's going to be different for everyone. I mean, I could go grab something and learn it and then teach it. A different way of doing it. I'm sure if I sat down, I could figure it out. I don't know. I think everyone's just different though. Because some people would talk to Jesus, some people would talk to angels, some people would whatever. Like angels don't talk like normal spirit guys. They talk like angels. They different. So, yeah. I think it's just everyone's different. But we're all human at the end of the day. They can't make us do anything. They can put us in a position to do something though.
Mm-hmm.
My guides would be like, "Have you had enough yet? You need to deal with some more shit." That's how they talk to me sometimes. I don't know. Do what? Happy. Who on earth wants to, what's the point of being happy? I don't think that's the point of life. I mean, I think sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm not. I don't think that's the point of life. Honestly, I don't feel like that's like the thing we're looking for. If everything was like I hear people say the whole world is like they want a world where everything's free and everything's like healthcare is free and all this nonsense. This is what I say is that if they were to do that, no one would have any strife. They would they would literally forget what hardship even was. And that would be that. And they're like, no one would rule. And I'm like, someone's going to come in and rule. They're going to take over. It always happens.
And nothing would be good because there would be no bad. It would just be like blah the whole time.
Yeah. I mean, give everyone universal basic income and see how long it takes for people to start killing themselves. It's been shown that like 50% of people that retire die in 10 years. I think it's like that's a statistic because they no longer have a purpose in life. So, yeah, give everyone free money and see how long there are a lot of kids that would love that. They can play video games all day. But they're not going to be happy long term. They're still going to be, they'll look for that outlet different ways. But what I believe, though, Diane, is that people want different things. So everyone's version, as I said earlier, whatever it is they want is going to be different. My friend wants a healthy, he wants to be in a relationship, and that's his version of happiness. So that's what he's in. He manifested that. He's in a good relationship now. But some people, that's not, they think that would be a nightmare.
Mhm.
So it's up to you how you feel that. It's like everyone wants to get mad at their parents, but their parents are just kids raising other kids. That's all it is. So, anyway, more questions? I'm just laying down because the energy work made me tired.
I have a strange question that's kind of not related to this. So we have past lives from this from our soul. So how come we can we don't have any guides from like our past lives
We do.
with us? Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a horse that comes around sometimes from another lifetime. I think it was another person. Maybe it was a horse in another life. And there's a bunch of animals too. So I don't know, but yeah, we have sometimes part of our soul group doesn't incarnate, and they're like, I just want to be a guide. I'm like, I don't want to do that shit again right now. I just hang out and tell people what to do. Be glad it's not zombies. Well, I think you're giving I would assume yes. I have no idea because people say all kinds of things. Well, I'm saying people say all kinds of things. But all I know is that I had a dog when I was 12, and then my old roommate got a cat as a kid, and that was a reincarnation of that dog. Because me and that cat had the weirdest fucking relationship. Like she got very jealous. She thought I was gonna steal the cat because the cat would only hang around me. But it was a reincarnation of a dog that I had when I was 12. So for the most part, it would only hang around me. So when I left, she'd like hide the cat when I came over because she thought I was gonna steal it. Like I was really gonna steal the fucking cat. Anyways, it's like a lifelong commitment. Anyways, but yes, things can incarnate as an animal. You've probably had lifetimes as an animal. I've had a lifetime as an eagle. I would imagine I chose to be a shark or something. That sounds like something I would imagine just going around like chomping on things.
I'm picking up one of your past lifetimes too, Thomas.
Okay.
A honey badger.
I probably would do be a honey badger. Honey badgers sound like the greatest animals ever exist. They just dive into beehives and attack them while they're being stung and just eat it. They eat it. And they attack lions and stuff.
Yep.
All animals are afraid of honey badger. Except wolverines are crazier than honey badgers. They attack bears.
Mm.
Yeah. Sounds like something I would do. Sounds fun. Yeah. Or just be in the sea or something like that. Um, but we all have different lifetimes. We choose different things. Like I've been a Viking assassin. I've been a farmer that gave up on God. I've been a farmer in Georgia down the street in Duluth. I think that was a lifetime. Yeah. High priest of Atlantis. A lot of spiritual ones, but a lot of like other ones. I think I rode with Genghis Khan. Sounds entertaining. Probably not to people now, but back then it probably did. But that's my point. You choose all these things. And you know, I mean, who knows? And sometimes your ancestors had it harder than you. They had to fight harder. We have a much simpler time now. We have
Mhm.
refrigerators, Wi-Fi, and TV and movies. Anyways, let me do some more energy work. I can get up now. I really like these hotel rooms, Wedge. I really don't want to leave. Okay. This is my favorite one. They have couches and chairs and everything. So nice. Okay, here we go. Just tap them. Clear. Era Bishilaka Rashikala Fara Kishilaka. Clear light. Someone's having stomach problems. I can feel it. And clear light and ground. There you go.
Thank you.
You can all do that too. He's got to try. Any more questions, anybody? While we're still here. Doing energy work can be tiring lately.
Mhm.
I'll be doing a lot more teaching on my content soon. Because I don't want to do just energy work anymore.
Mm.
Well, you have this beautiful thing of social media where anyone can teach. They can say they're a master of anything, and they don't have to prove it. My favorite thing to do is to go into other spiritual people's lives and ask them what lineages they're from. And they look at me like they're like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "What's your lineage? Who trained you?" And they just look at me like I'm nuts. But that's me entertaining myself. So I did that too. I'm in this group on Facebook. If you ever, I know some of you want to date spiritual people. It's quite entertaining. It's called Spiritual Singles on Facebook. Many of you may already be a part of it. But there was a girl in there with a septum ring, and she was in her 40s. That's a bad. That's a you don't want to date a 40-year-old septum ring. And I said I was go. So what do you do? Do you channel? Do you do exorcisms, healing? Like what do you do? And she's like, why? Well, I'm just wondering why would you ask me that? I'm like, well, if I want to date you, I need to know that you do something. And she no response. I was like, that's what I thought because I was like, oh, you people don't even know what you're doing. It is in a spiritual site because it's like you want to get laid. So, anyways, that's my entertainment. That's what entertains me. It's cause some mischief. It's just my people find all my comments and they'll probably try to embarrass me, and that's okay. And I'll be like, I said everything. I said every fucking thing I said. I don't. I have no idea. But yeah. The point is that there's a lot of people out there, and a lot of people can say whatever they want. It's like if I look at Modern Monarch, I'm not a huge fan of that dude. Um, I know he's been around as long as me on TikTok at least, but he's a bald dude. He's got a girlfriend, and she's like a queen or something. I don't know. They make content that gets a lot of views because it's weird. His name's Modern Monarch, anyways. But the Queen activations, his girlfriend. It's very cringy, but they get a lot of views because it appeals to a mass audience. But he used to live in a trailer like 3 years ago, and they sit there and they apparently channels. I don't know. I don't have anything against them. It's just I don't really like them. But I just listen to what these people talk about, and if they'll sell out too. That's one thing I always wonder. Will they sell out? If they're given enough, someone's paying him. If they're given enough money, will they sell out? If someone starts offering like Jesse Murph money, would Jesse Murph sell out? The answer was yes to that.
Mhm.
That's kind of hoping. My next wonder is, will Critter sell out? That girl I post in my stories all the time. She could be massive, like millionaire, billionaire, like 100 millionaire. She wanted to be. She just don't see it. I can see it though. Anyways, but the point is, your homework is right here. Look up the different ways of connecting in with your headphones. You need headphones if you're doing any of this stuff. You can do different frequencies as the alpha, delta, theta, beta. You can do all those frequencies. Now you might want a pure tone or make sure it's an actual tone because a lot of times people call it a tone, but it's not. It'll be buried in music. I don't know if a pure tone is going to be easy to digest. It's going to be pretty hard on your ears, but a you gotta look for a tone. Um, and then sit in a dark room and ask yourself the real questions. There's not. Let's see if there's anything else. There's more here. And you can always write down the questions beforehand. And then go like, however many you want to do at a time. And then what is God to you? Because as I said earlier, God is everything. That's how I see God. God made the demon. Look at Job, if you want to look at the Bible. So Satan and God are playing chess. But if you look at Zoroastrianism, it mirrors like Judaism. So I think Zoroastrianism is the first. Judaism's an offshoot of Zoroastrianism. So, yeah. The bigger questions I'm channeling, you can answer yourself. Even your guides, you may see a guide like walking. The problem is people get too afraid of things. They get too afraid they're doing something wrong or right. Sometimes I say just ask the right question or just put in the right things. Universal laws are good for that. They'll make energy go a certain way. Just throw them in there. And any more questions? We're almost at 2 hours. I'm about to pass out. Anybody else? You got some homework? Yes.
Can you repeat the first question of the homework?
Oh, shit.
The first one. I didn't hear you.
Yeah, what is God to you?
And look up the different ways to connect to
Yeah, what was the
frequencies.
first one that you had read off?
Look up the different ways to connect to frequency.
Yeah. I don't know. I got stuff written down.
Okay. It was
And
right
forgive
before,
yourself.
right after different frequencies.
The
You'll
first
be a
one
lot
was the
more
alpha,
happy.
beta, gamma thing.
Yeah. Yeah, look
Do
up
what?
different ways to connect to the frequencies, alpha, beta, sorry.
Yeah.
And those.
Yeah, you just look up frequency. You'll see them: alpha, delta, beta, theta, gamma. And there is source vibrations. That's on Spotify, probably on YouTube too. Source
Yeah.
vibrations. They already have them buried in there. You'll feel something if you listen to that. The key is your brain is going to talk. It's just you gotta let it go through the motions. If you put your shoes next to the door every day, you're going to do that every time. Once your body's used to it, like a few days. But that's what I'm saying is if you keep doing something over and over again, it'll become normal. Yeah, that's the key. So, and yeah. I don't want to have a link to this. I don't like these. I'm afraid one day someone's going to use them against me. That's my fear. Well, I don't worry about that. I mean, if the government wanted to grab me, they would have already done it. But I think a lot of people are just crazy. But the point is I watch a guy who literally tells you he can heal anything on Facebook. He has massive amount of people watching. And he sells all these health things. He has bodyguards and shit. But I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. I never read his books. But I think it just depends on the person. If something's very mainstream, don't talk about it. Like if we're going through a pandemic, don't talk about that. And it'll be fun, I think. I think that's the key. Don't destroy whatever's going on in the world. Yeah, I gotta be careful what I say. My guys are saying right now. Anyways, but the point is yeah, that's the key. But I'll be doing some more teaching soon. I'm just figuring stuff out. Whew. Whew, that energy wiped me out. Anyways, you guys have a beautiful day. If you have any questions, feel free to message me. Peace
Okay.
out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.